All right, Kevin McCloskey, Billy Woodward with the first Stable Talk of the season. We're just signing up. We think it's week number 6. We're basically at the halfway point, Billy, and that's significant to me because I think at the halfway point, the Stallions might have turned the corner.
I think, and after tonight's game, I think they may have. We go to South Lenore next week. We have an open date, and then Wallace Rose Hill comes to town. So we'll know something
Keenan,
about that.
right?
I mean, James Keenan.
Yeah.
Yes, James Keenan comes to town. And so the way things were tonight, defense went well, offense went very well. I've got some stats, and we'll get to that in a minute. I know you got something else going on, but we had a lot of running backs with a lot of yardage tonight.
Yeah. And a lot of defensive players with touchdowns, too. I mean, we started off the game, the first play of scrimmage for them. I think we had a pick six, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, then another pick 6 later on. Tate Whitehead got the fumble recovery for a touchdown. Then Quaydon Walker had a pick 6, another one called back. And then Mez got a fumble recovery for a touchdown later on in the game. Yeah. But let's talk about the conference for a minute. I want to show you. I look at like a lot of things in lives are graphed out like by a bell curve. You know, you got people at the lower end and people at the upper end, and most people are in the middle. Well, let's be honest. The Stallions are not at the upper end this year, but we're not at the lower end this year either. We're solidly in the middle, and the barometer is shifting ever more to the north. And you mentioned James Keenan coming here in a couple of weeks. That could be the game that really sets the tone for where this team finishes the season.
The thing that I'm hoping that these coaches can keep these players under control with is this. Don't underestimate going to South Lenore next week. And then you've got a week of open date that you've got to keep them concerned and keep them their heads on before James Keenan comes to town. And then, of course, we'll go to East Stupin to finish off the season, regular season. But we have a chance, like you said, of being up in that upper echelon. We're not going to be in the lower echelon, but we're in the middle where we're going to be.
Yeah, and so 56-18, it was just a thorough whooping tonight. One of the better games I've seen the Stallions play in a couple of years, honestly. All phases of the games were there, very few penalties, nobody lost composure tonight, and just a well-played ball game. It was a joy to watch.
If you're a Stallion fan, it was. Yeah. Dave McLeod was up there with us in the upstairs tonight, coaching, and our former coach. And as he came by, he said, "Y'all had a good game. I've got a long ride home, and I've only got to go to Verona tonight."
So you say you got some stats for me here? Well, read some of these numbers off for me.
Blue, 107 yards is what I had with tonight. Roberts for 48, Evans for 44, Davis for 16, Dorsey with 42. After coming in really in the second half there, maybe late in the first half and in the second half for a while. Yeah. So I was real pleased. When you've got that many running backs, we always know here here we've got the horses in the stable. Yeah. We showed it tonight, and that's got to be another worry for the coaches now that they've got so many running backs that can run the ball.
Yeah. And tonight, too, let's talk about the quarterbacks. So Tyler Randolph got injured, and he went out. Yeah. Cam Rosenberg, what a luxury it is to have a seasoned veteran be able to come back to the quarterback position and provide that stability. And he threw an absolutely beautiful fade route down here at the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. So that was a big thing, too. Like I said, just a good all-around game. Now, you mentioned going to South Lenore next week. What do you know about them this year? I mean, typically the Lenore teams are struggling, but what do you know about them this year?
They are struggling again this year, and they took a whipping tonight at Wallace Rose Hill. I mean, they took a beating. But most are doing that right now with Wallace Rose Hill. So that's it we can do.
Right, and we got injuries and stuff like that. So anyway, anything you got else to point out?
The only other thing that I've noticed right near the end of the game that Rosenberg was limping as he came off. Do you know anything on the injury to Tyler? How?
No, nothing specific. Don't want to trying to speculate, but hard to say. I mean, he seemed to be doing okay, but we'll find out next week. But all right, well, we'll see you there. We'll see you up in Lenore Counter.
All right, go Stallions.
Yeah.